So, I don't know about you lately, but been feeling a little stressed. It's the beginning of the year and there's just a lot that's been coming in. I've been getting emails, texts, phone messages, all about things that need my attention. And for me, that's really when I feel the most stressed. So then when we're feeling super stressed, we have a couple options. We can do nothing. So we could procrastinate. Done that a time or two. We could also eat or spend our feelings. So maybe eating that piece of chocolate or eating 6 Oreos. Going to the dollar store, thrift store, going to TJ Maxx and buying a lot of things we don't need. There's the second option, which is self-care. Highly recommend self-care. I did a whole video about self-care and I will link it up here. So taking that bubble bath, doing your hobbies, reading a book, and just unplugging your life for a little bit. All good things. Nutritious and good for you food like fruits, vegetables, healthy proteins. And then there's the third option, which I am probably most partial to, organizing and prioritizing. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I separate areas of my life so that I can keep them organized, actually break down what I have to do, and get it done. Let's go. So kind of as an overview of what I got going on right now, I have money and budget goals that I'm trying to work on. I have grad school, which I talked about in my last video. I have wedding stuff for me, like self-care, social things that I'm doing, because you got to keep a social life, talk to your friends, not be consumed by work. Also got stuff for YouTube and work. So that also with work, I'm starting a new job. So I am still teaching, but I have moved to a virtual charter school instead of my previous charter school in the city. I'm going to miss that charter school a lot, especially all of the people that I got to know there and the community I built there. But being virtual was just so good for me and my mental space and like my self-care. I was able to take care of me and instead of spending 10 to 15 hours a week in the car driving back and forth to my job. It's not healthy. So that was the big reason why I made that switch. But moving to a new job is one, stressful, but two, doing it brick and mortar to now virtual, plus getting married, plus grad school, plus everything else. So I'm a bit overwhelmed here. So the biggest thing I do for this is I sort my life into category calendars. Let's start with the first calendar. All right, so the first one is kind of the first 3 main areas, which is my social life, myself, and right now wedding. So these 3 kind of activities I put together, one, because I'm usually out when I make plans involving friends and family, plans for myself, or things for the wedding. So I need to be able to access the calendar, which is why I love Google Calendar so much. Definitely where I store most of it. The other things will end up going on the fridge calendar, which I'm going to insert a clip of right here. So my lovely fridge calendar, this is where we keep track of kind of mutual things like our family calendar. My brother and his family, they actually have a family Google Calendar. So they shared the Google Calendar with everyone in the family and they all add stuff to it. I love that approach, but we're just not there yet. So the other reason I'm going to recommend Google Calendar is because they give you nice headers when you put in events that are kind of generic. So like dentist or doctor or haircut, it'll give you a nice, beautiful header that goes with it. So that makes me happy. But also, if you put the location in on the event, it'll give you reminders on screen of like, hey, it's time to leave for that dentist appointment if you want to make it by 8:40. And that just helps me keep on track and like not have to think so hard about the million plans that I got going on. Let Google automate some of your life. Okay, so the next major calendar I have is my YouTube calendar. So not all of you are going to be doing YouTube who watch this, but replace it with your favorite hobby like dance, gymnastics, cheer, whatever your sport is, whatever your hobby is. So for this calendar, I use it less for the day-to-day sorts of things. So it's not like a to-do list for me. It's more of like a content calendar. So when am I going to, like, what are my video themes for the following weeks? When am I going to post to social media? What do I need to know for other things? So like, let me show you a page. All right, so as you're looking at this calendar, you see that I have my videos listed on the right side over here. It says Saturday, but they're actually posted on Sunday. And then I have some like content that I was thinking about posting for social media things. I also sometimes will write in like when I'm gonna film batches or edit batches. I do it more here in September because I have my wedding over here on the 25th. So with this YouTube calendar, I don't generally make it a to-do list. Like I don't write that I'm going to edit Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of that week. I just know that I'm going to do that because that's a pretty regular habit. So like if we take dance as an example, I used to dance all the time, all the way through school, in college, after college. I would be there at the studio pretty much 5 to 8, Monday through Friday, and then 10 to 4 on Saturdays. I didn't need to write that down. I knew that. Like it's been 5 years since I had that schedule and I still know that schedule. So like that wouldn't have gotten written down for me. But a dress rehearsal or a special rehearsal at a different location, that would have gotten written down. Or what kind of dress rehearsal it was. Is it tech week? Do I have a whole week? So then Wednesday is a full run through, but Thursday is an actual dress rehearsal. So I know I needed to bring hair and makeup things that day, you know? So the bigger events would stand out for me, like on my content calendar here, just the theme for the week. My third calendar is my grad school and work calendar. So I put those two together because they're kind of school related, and honestly, a work calendar I don't really need too much of because the only thing that's super important to me in a work calendar is what days do I have off? What days do I have scheduled PD? What days am I not with kids? That's what's really important because every other day is going to be about the same. Okay, so looking at this calendar, it's a lot more detailed. That's the word I'm looking for. This calendar is a lot more detailed. So this has all of my due dates on it. I have a Friday dress appointment, and then I have all of these things due on Saturday. These are my readings for the week. And like, this is much more organized. I have off from work this day because it's Labor Day. I also have to do this really big principal interview assignment. So I have to remember to talk to that principal I want to interview, schedule something in advance. This one's a bigger deal. And I actually use stickers with some of this one because I got this lovely sticker pack as a gift from someone from Target. I'll try and link something like it down below. I actually also got this planner at Target in their dollar spot section. It was like $3, but it's just blank overviews of the month. Here we go. So like here's June and it's blank. I just put in the numbers myself and then I fill in some of that other stuff. But I really love a monthly kind of overview, and this is good for about 5 years. I counted out the pages, so I was super happy to find that. It's another thing I want to mention about this calendar. So you'll notice that there's some random things on here like haircuts and wedding license meeting and things like that. So my wedding, big events that are going to impact things on this calendar. So like my wedding is there. I want to have all my schoolwork done before, so I don't have to think about it. I don't have to worry about it because I know I'm going to be busy enough as it is. And things like that, like the wedding, has been on every calendar. This wedding license meeting is super important. It's only 15 minutes, so I put it on a bunch of different calendars so I don't forget. Things like that will end up making it on a couple different calendars, but only things that have like overreaching kind of impacts. So the last kind of calendar I have is a financial calendar, and this one has a lot of details on it that I unfortunately can't show you, but I have a basic kind of journal. I wrote out the month, and then I wrote out what bills are due when, who I'm sending money to, other big expensive things. So like I have a concert coming up. That's going to be an expensive day. So I wrote that on the money calendar so I know to budget for that with the paychecks that are coming up. So besides having separate calendars for different areas of your life, let's talk some other tips to separate them. So first one, if you can, one space, one use. So the room I'm currently in is my blue room, and this is like my YouTube grad school room. So this is where I'm going to do my grad school work. This is where I'm going to film for YouTube. This is where I'm going to edit for YouTube. I can kind of put those things together because they're like outside things I'm working on. Basically, they're not school. They're not work. Okay? Downstairs in my office, which I was in for all of virtual school that you guys have seen in some previous videos, I actually redid the layout, so I'll put a clip here of what that is. But that's just for work. So that's just my virtual school office. So that when I close that door, work is done, I set that life boundary. Another thing that's really good for that is creating a schedule, specifically around work. During virtual school at the old job when we were all still locked down, I was allowed to be in my office doing schoolwork from 7:30 to 4. That was it. At 4 o'clock, no matter what I had done, no matter how much I had done, it was time to close the door and leave. Something like that is really good. Make sure you are coming into the office or leaving the office at a regular time, not just when my work is done. It really helps to establish that kind of life boundary and separate areas. So once the door shuts, once you leave, that's it, you're done. So let's talk apps and notifications. So while I'm at work, I try my hardest to not have my phone next to me. But at some points, it is really just convenient. Sometimes you need certain apps for work. Like I'm on my email a lot for work. I was on Class Dojo a lot for school. Like I needed to be in Drive. I needed to share documents, respond to parents. Like having a phone next to the computer, it was just ultra convenient for a lot of things. But I knew if I was doing like grading that I needed to just buckle down and do, put the phone to the side, focus on what you're doing. I would also recommend that if you have like your school or work email on your phone, you turn off notifications for it. So you don't want to be getting work or school emails at 8 o'clock at night on a Friday. Like, no. But if you have those notifications going on, you're going to see it, you're going to open it because you want to know what's inside, and then you forget all the information. And then you're in work mode and you're supposed to be like relaxing. So turn off those notifications so you can check the email if you want, but you are not forced to check the email when the notification pops up. Other thing, I might recommend do not disturb, which turns off notifications after a certain time. If you want to be real bold, you can set it for like 5 o'clock so you stop getting notifications after that. I personally can't do that, but kudos to you if you can. Also, some apps for school things have school hours. So like Class Dojo you can set school hours and then they won't notify you outside of those times. So like you won't lose a Class Dojo message if they send it to you at 5:30. Parents will just be notified that you'll get back to them the next day when school hours are again active. Perhaps my biggest tip here that I touched on earlier is put your phone down. Focus on the task at hand. Your phone is the best tool in your arsenal. It's also the most distracting tool in your arsenal. Because the phone can do so many different things, it's so convenient to have like this pulled up and the email pulled up while you're looking at something else. But your phone is kind of one of those areas that's actually going to bring all of the parts of your life together and mix them up terribly. So if you can, put the phone away, keep it out of the space so that your things can stay separate. In addition to organizing and prioritizing all of these things, I'm going to link my self-care video up here. I talked about it a little bit earlier in the video too, but I definitely recommend using both of those together. It really is going to make it more effective for you and you're not going to get so burnt out from the stress. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up down below. It really helps me out and it helps others find this content. Also, if you have not yet, please consider subscribing. It's free and you'll then get notified with all of the videos I post. I post every Sunday at 9 a.m. This is also part of the Best School Year Ever series. I'm going to link the full playlist up here for you in case you missed any of that. I'm going to be updating that every month with best ideas that I'm using to have my best school year ever so you can do it too. Thank you guys so much for staying to the end of the video. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.